Good evening and welcome to another episode of Real Business Lessons. We are here to explore another business today, and this is a business I'm sure most of you are interested in. It's the export business. And for this, we have our esteemed guest, Mr. Pankaj Mulchandani.
Hi Rakesh. Hi everyone.
Hi, Pankaj, how are you?
So far so good, man.
Great. I'm sure today LinkedIn and YouTube community is really excited to meet you and explore how they can export their products. So why don't you introduce yourself to us? Just take few minutes.
Yeah, I'll give you a couple of small background. Uh, Born and brought up in Gujarat. Went to Mumbai, studied, did engineering. Ventured, I think, about 12 years in ship designing. Then last 5 years now I am into logistics, taking care of marketing, basically helping clients to move shipments and sometimes helping them doing hand holding where they are stuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you say hand holding, could you give us something more about what you do and how you
So
manage
what
the
happens
clients?
is sure. So what happens many times, logistic is such a field, or maybe export business such a field where you are always getting something new, not for the product per
Hmm.
se, but with respect to the new regulations coming. And
Right.
our customs and our India as a country is evolving continuously. So with the evolution, new regulations are coming much faster than people can cope up sometimes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
our job is not to just to move cargo. Our job is also to ensure that they are aware of the new regulations, so that they don't fall into some kind of pit stop.
Okay. Okay. Um, Cool. So, what size of clients you work with? Is it only startups or MSCs, or corporates? If you can brief us.
Yeah, the bouquet is quite vast. We have been working with companies which are specially registered themselves for exports, so as new as
Okay.
that, and we had also worked with clients who are also listed in stock exchange, so as old as that. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's
Yeah,
nice.
both the ways. Yeah, there's an entire spectrum. So and the shipment size can be as small as 1 kg to multiple tons. It can go up to break bulk.
Okay. And
Yeah,
any challenge that you face with these many clients, or
every day,
is it, similar
every day,
with everyone?
every day. So yeah, so different clients, different requirements, different expectations. So yes, challenges are there. It's 365 days kind of work for me, for not for clients, but yes. If you give few example of the challenges, can be somebody wants the shipment to be moved faster, somebody wants to be
Hmm.
moved at economical cost, somebody wants to be sensitive toward its cargo because it is time sensitive. So different client, different challenges, and no two challenges are same. So that's why it's very exciting.
And of course, different solution for different kind of requirements, right?
Exactly. You're always on the toes,
Got it.
basically.
Okay, guys, so Pankaj is your person if you want to move your cargo anywhere across the world. Any kind of problem, Pankaj will sort it for you, correct?
You are saying too much. Try my best to solve all the problems.
Great,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
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 let's
far,
let's talk about. Yeah, sorry,
yeah.
please continue.
No, nothing. When you say throughout the world, so far we are present in 32 countries. So and counting. So is 5 years ago we started
Wow,
with one client, one country. So now we reached to 122 clients in 32 countries like that.
that's at least more than the World Cup countries of ICC, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So still less than the full cup football World Cup, but yeah, better than that.
No, I'm sure you will reach that. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's get on to our session and let's explore the export business. So when we talk about export business, the first question that comes in every person's mind is it easy to export? Is it safe to export? And what are your insights about how the last few years have shaped so far?
Okay. So let's start with that first question, which is it is easy or is it safe? So yeah, the way now the things are moving, the rules are much more
Hmm.
stringent. So in a way, it is very safe. Okay.
Right.
Uh, you are more secured than before that आपका cargo वहाँ safely पहुँच जाएगा. In case if something
Right.
happens to the cargo, then there is something called cargo insurance, which takes care of your financial burden if something happens to your cargo. So that way your financial aspects are taken care of. Okay.
Okay.
And coming about easy or tough, so I would say anything that you start new is not going to be a cakewalk for sure.
Yeah.
Once you do first few shipments, it becomes you come into a rhythm where you know what documents will be prepared. But if you tell me in general, it is comparatively much easier to do exports now than before.
Okay. Okay.
Now coming to second question, how it had been in India as a country with respect to exports. So I'll give you data which is very recent, pre-COVID, post-COVID kind of thing. So pre-COVID, we
Okay.
are like growing at the pace of average 3 to 5% year-on-year growth. Okay, so pre-COVID, we have touched, I think, roughly $530 billion as a country export. Of course, COVID it went down a
Okay.
little bit, and after that it has zoomed again. So since last 3 years, year on year, it is growing at a pace of 12 to 15%, and that is a pace I feel will go because with the government's initiatives are there, which helps people to do export, and there is incentives given by them, and also now the knowledge itself is increasing day by day, and people are becoming more aware about
Hmm.
how to do the things. So, and yeah, consultancies and logistics companies like us are there to help them out whenever they are stuck or whenever they are learning something new.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
still, as you said, there are the things have become easier, but currently, which are the major challenges that these exporters are facing still?
So I would say per se. So I'm assuming that they already had found a client. I mean, from that perspective, that they already have a product to export
Okay.
and they already have a
Okay.
client. I mean, if that's a challenge, then there's a different solution for that. But with that perspective, from coming from logistics background, I have to make first assumption that they already have a client and they already have a product in their mind and they want to do it. And let's say
Hmm.
they are a startup which they want to do, there is where
Okay.
the challenge will come because they will not have the knowledge of which documents are required, where they need to be registered. So there are government portals like IceGate is there, DGFT is there. So these are government portals. These are the new words which people will come to know, and they need to
Okay.
be registered with them. Need to understand the export procedure. Even if they don't understand, they can hire a logistics company or consultancy company where they can do that part on their behalf, and they only worry about their business. Okay, so first is that
Okay.
the challenge which under having the knowledge. Okay, in fact, it also happens that people are already available. I mean, pan India they are there, and now they want to get into export business and they want to experience that or test themselves with that kind of thing. So there again, the different kind of challenges will come. The product testing is there. What kind of certification to be given for that product so that that country accepts, right? So where
Okay.
to go, where to do.
Hmm.
So those kind of challenges are there. But that challenge which was there earlier, that it has to go safely, from point A to B, that has already been solved. So that nothing to worry on client side of it or maybe the exporter side of it.
Right. Right. So, when you talk about documents, what are the minimum documents required if, let's say, I want to start exporting my product today?
Hmm.
So, as a manufacturer or as a startup, what would be the
Hmm.
minimum required documents that I must possess?
Okay. So now the bare minimum is invoice and packing list. Only two.
Okay.
That's it. It's
So,
that simple.
no import license, no export license,
So,
EXIM
so
license is not
license, so license as a word
certificate. Sorry.
had no, that's okay. So import export license is a history now because earlier it
Okay.
was supposed to be like that. Something you want to import, something you want to export is supposed to have license. Now I would say 90% of the products are called free of that, free to do business. Free to export, free to import. When I say free, doesn't mean free per se. Free in the sense you don't need special permission for that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so that way you are covered in that perspective. Now documents may, when I say only two, means invoice and packing list. Okay, when Right now we'll talk about export only. So for exports,
Okay.
these two are bare minimum. After that, the additional documents are depending on the product that you have.
Okay.
Some countries will say, if let's say you're exporting something which is edible, they will say I need a health certificate of that product. Now something engineering product is there, you don't need that, you need something called SCOMET certificate. Okay.
Okay.
So two different products, two different requirements.
Okay.
But
Okay.
all these can be easily sorted by hiring a logistics company. They can prepare the draft on your behalf. You just have to review the draft and just submit those documents. That's it.
And what is the usual timeline or cost for this?
Timeline in there are 223 countries, man. So different countries will have different timelines. So if point A to point B will there. So here to Dubai is different, here to Singapore is different, here to US is different. So it's impossible to have this kind of time range or
So
point. But
let's
I'll give
take an
you a perspective.
example.
I'll give you a perspective.
Yeah, sure.
From here to Dubai, if you're exporting it by via sea, it will not take more than end to end more than 7 days. Okay, end to
Okay.
end from your warehouse to their warehouse. From here to Singapore, it will not take more than 15 days unless if something is stuck. But otherwise, generally it takes 15 days from end to end. Okay, this is via sea. I'm giving example. From here to US, it will take roughly 40-45 days,
This
not beyond
includes the
that.
documentation.
Everything. That's what I'm saying. So from your warehouse to your client's warehouse.
Okay. So if
Yeah.
I want to start my export and I want to export something to UAE, you're saying that that can be sorted within 7 days?
No, I'm saying it. Once your documents are ready, your cargo is ready. From
So I was
the day
talking
I
about
get your
documents,
cargo.
actually. I
Okay.
was talking
Now,
about the cost of documents and timeline of documents. How
documents. There is no cost for preparing documents. There's no specific
okay.
cost for that. So these are just it's not that example invoice and packing list is there, right? So it's
Right.
prepared. It's supposed to be prepared by you. Comment letter is supposed to be prepared by you. It's not to be
Sure.
prepared by us. So timeline is basically depending on how fast you are able to do. It's not something else. So when I said earlier, when you come into rhythm, so when you come into rhythm, it should not take more than 1 day. In fact, less than 1 day if it is sorted. Your regular exports are
Okay.
doing. You already have the drafts of the document ready. Should not be take a couple of hours to prepare those documents and submit.
Got it. Got
Obviously,
it.
first time when you do, it will take enormous
It will take
energy
time.
amount. Yes. More than that, it will take little time to understand that.
And even for that, you're saying there are companies who can or
Yes,
agencies
yes,
who can
yes,
assist us.
yes. We do for a lot of the clients who are doing for the first time, and we do complete hand holding. From
Okay.
educating them how to prepare invoice as well. Sometimes they are
Okay.
even struggling that कि हमको normal invoice बनाने आता है, but we don't know how to prepare an export invoice. I said no
Hmm.
problem, yeah. And for that we don't charge them. It's like a
Okay.
free service. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. So,
Mm.
with that said, we also spoke about having a client overseas. So,
Yeah.
what are the promising markets that an exporter should explore currently?
So every different product will have different demand in different countries. Okay.
Hmm.
Right. So let's say now depending on from which background you're coming. Okay. Let's say if I'm an engineering company, I'm running engineering products. Okay. Or let's say simple product is a pharma product or
Okay.
commodity. The high demand is there in Africa. Okay.
Hmm.
Then you'll be surprised. Some people are also exporting to China. Okay. उल्टा भी
Yeah.
होता है.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then there are countries like UAE and Europe. So they import a lot of tiles. Tiles is imported very much in UAE and Europe as well as in Russia, like that.
Hmm.
So, but if you tell me that इस product का demand कहाँ ज़्यादा है, in fact it depends on you how well you can sell that product to that country or to that particular
Got it.
buyer. If you are able to sell it, you can sell it in all 223 countries around the world. Because
Hmm.
what happens is many times, let's say that buyer is searching that product and he is not aware where to buy,
Hmm.
right? He is also saying
Hmm.
you are searching apps. So it's up to me to how to find that buyer to reach him. It's like that. So
Okay.
many people, what they do is they go and participate in these exhibitions where the buyers and sellers both are meeting. So
Right.
exhibitions
And
happens
there
in
are
India, outside India. Yes, they come and they try to find vendors there for them. So
Right.
I normally to all my clients, I recommend them that if at all you're not putting your stall in the exhibition, at least go and visit. So there are already buyers sitting with you. They just want to listen to you to test the product, and they'll be happy to give you repeat orders, assuming that the product is good and useful to them.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah.
Cool. So now let's talk about the strategies of export. So let's say
Mm-hmm.
if I were a person who is willing to start an export business,
Mm-hmm.
what are the factors that I should consider while developing an export strategy?
Okay, lot of things you can do, no doubt about that. Everybody has its own strategy, but I'll give you a few examples where you can pick the gist of it.
Sure.
Now, export is not only about selling the product; it's also about meeting the requirements of that particular country as well. Okay, let's say
Okay.
I take an example of fillets. Okay, so if I'm exporting to UAE, so they have the specific stringent requirement of meeting that health certificate because product basic, right?
Okay.
Same way, spillets going to some other country may not require that kind of stringent requirement. It all depends on that country. So that is one is that your product should be able to qualify in that country.
Okay.
Okay, so fillets is basically a commodity. You can take simply you can take same as engineering product where your tolerance level should be such, or that the functional value of your product should be such that it should be the client criteria. Okay, then most of the clients will ask you to send a sample first, free of cost. Normally they will not pay you. They will ask you if it's some sample of it is a free of cost. You should be ready to invest that much amount of energy and money in that to send that samples to your clients, potential clients. Okay, once they
Okay.
approve, then they will give you orders. Then next is transaction. One challenge which you are mentioning, I just recalled, is that financial transactions. So what happens is when somebody is new, he or she may not easily understand how to carry out the financial transaction,
Hmm.
when to ask for money or that payment, and how, when
Hmm.
to dispatch the product before payment, after payment, all those things they will not know. So normally what
Okay.
happens is, in general, you should always uh, put 100% advance and then release. Or if he is not ready, you should open an LC. So again, when somebody is doing for the first time, they will not be able to contemplate what is an LC. So for that, again, they will need to be educated a little bit on that part. They need to learn a little bit about the LC, how to open an LC, how to convince client to open an LC. So either your advance is coming 100%, or if not, LC is being opened, so your financial requirement is taken care of. Okay, so
Right.
what terms to put in that? So there is something called INCO terms, international commercial terms. So which terms you should select, which are in your favor, not in your buyer's favor. Because if the buyer is a seasoned one, he will always force you to take INCO terms or mention INCO terms, which is beneficial to him. So that way you need to be educated, you need to negotiate those kind of terms as well with the buyer. So once you start doing that business, eventually you'll understand which are going to be little pro your case.
So any portal or any source where we can learn these terms before
Yes.
starting.
See, just open YouTube and you'll find a lot of videos people are putting up. So you just put, I need to
Okay.
understand Inco terms. You put and you'll get at least 10 videos which people are explaining what is Inco terms. You put understanding on, I need to learn about LC, letter of credit. So you'll get another 20 videos on LC. But personally, I have not seen any portal where they will teach you from scratch to the other another end. Entire spectrum
Okay.
is not covered like that. I personally have not seen it, but whichever aspect you want to learn about it, you will definitely get it on YouTube. You don't need to go any university or like that. There are people who have
Okay.
given good videos. Yeah, you can easily find it. Now,
Got it.
but you need to be registered to these government portals, which I was explaining, DGFT and IceGate and like that, because DGFT is the one who will give you IC code, which is import export code. That will be your pinpoint contact for all exports which are going out of India.
Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
But that can
So
be learned. It's not very difficult. Not very difficult.
so now my question is, there are these manufacturers who are not you know learned or who don't know much about export, and they
Hmm.
rely on those exporters who have registered in this DGFT and other portals who have been exporting. Should those manufacturers really, be reliant on those exporters to export their products, or should they start their own? Uh, Again, it's a strategy question. But
Yeah,
what
yeah,
are
yeah.
your takes?
So I've seen people doing both. Manufacturer also giving it to another. So this is called merchant trading. What you gave an example. So there's a term for
Okay.
that, merchant trading. So what happened in this case is the merchant trader is an exporter basically, but he's not a manufacturer. So he will take it from the
Right.
manufacturer and he will export. For
Right.
manufacturer, this is called deemed export. Deemed means it is assumed it's going for export. It is called deemed export. So he can take some benefit out of it. Okay, because a trader doesn't cannot get that government benefit, jo benefits which are defined by the government, but the manufacturer can take. So like that, even manufacturer can take that incentives, when he knows that this is specifically going for export.
Hmm.
So like that. Now let's say he's doing regularly deemed export. Now he got a client which wants to directly buy from him, and then he needs to be an exporter. So he needs to register himself. So process is simple, but strategy wise, it is good. It's a good strategy to be them himself as an exporter.
Okay.
Because he will learn the trade a lot more. So for him, it will be another vertical, starting for him. Okay, okay, Pan India is anyway, or maybe localized is anyway giving services or products.
Hmm. Hmm.
Export can become another vertical for him. And just to
Right.
take care of export, he might not need more than one guy to take care of that. You do not need to hire an entire team to take care of it. Just one guy, additional guy is more than enough. Or maybe one of the internal team member can just understand the documentation and just go through it. Otherwise, dispatch procedure is same whether dispatching to India or outside. Only thing is you need to understand how the documentation is taken care of.
Okay.
So if you become an exporter, your I would say cost wise, you're not going to increase anything much.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Although your margins may increase because there's no mediator in between.
that's a good assumption. That's a good assumption. Yeah. So yeah, it's not like you're bypassing that guy. So okay, so
Hmm.
it's not a fair thing to do in that way. But if you have your own client who wants to buy from you, then you should do it in that way.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So
Okay.
so there are exporters, or there are manufacturers doing both. They have their merchant traders to whom they regularly give their products, and also they're doing exports on their own also. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Maybe it depends on the market which they are comfortable with.
Yeah. So these guys, I told you, right? They go and participate in exhibitions. From there, you get this kind of exposure. In fact, I have seen manufacturers, to my surprise, that their education background may not be that 12th or 10th pass like that, but they are visiting to Europe and those part of countries and participating in those exhibitions and putting their stalls and easily portraying their strengths and getting business from there.
Hmm.
So in today's world, the more you put your hands and legs to work, the more business you'll get.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So now let's say, okay, I decide to start exporting myself,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I would still need a reliable supply chain provider, a
Yeah.
reliable logistics provider. So
Yeah. Yeah.
how can I ensure that the person that I'm working with or the company that I'm working with is reliable? Is there any way to test or certify or something?
See, to choose a vendor for yourself, you need to do a little bit of due diligence that what kind of experience that company has.
Right.
Example, we are more comfortable, or I would say we are not expert, but more comfortable with respect to exporting engineering products or finished goods. Okay. Personally, I have never exported rice. Okay, I never
Okay.
helped any client to export rice, so I don't have that knowledge. So if some client
Okay.
comes to me and asks me, definitely I will not be the best person to help him export rice.
Okay.
Okay, then it's my responsibility to educate him that I'm not the best person for you. However, I can guide you to so and so company who's expert in regularly helping clients to do rice. So even logistics
Right.
companies will have their own expertise. So some logistics companies are there where they're only doing India, US like that. So they are only comfortable in that zone. If you ask me, yeah, मेरे को यहाँ से I need to send to Bangladesh, probably they will politely say no. Okay. So normally you will get kind of response. What are the strengths? You just find out the strength of that company, okay, and then see if those strengths are useful for you or not. Let's say you come to me and you say, I need to export. This is my finished goods. I need to export to Singapore. I have a local business already in Singapore, right? So definitely I am the best person for you to do that. However, the same thing if you tell me that, okay, I want to do in Uganda, I don't have a local business in Uganda, so I'm not the best person for you.
Okay.
Right. So you need, very common sense. You need to evaluate. So there is no yardstick how you can select somebody, but based on their comfort level, you can shortlist some of the companies. And of course, nowadays nobody will keep one vendor with them, so they will keep 3-4 options with them, so that so let's say my strengths are yes, my strengths are into the specific countries. Other vendors is in good in, let's say, Uganda, and I'm good in Singapore. So the same client will use me for exporting to Singapore, and he will use other company to export to, let's say, Uganda, like that.
Okay.
So you're dividing your risk as well.
So now here my thought is that we will speak to multiple logistics partners, and we will identify their strengths. But is there a way where we can also verify their ex clients or see their ratings, like how you have exporters ratings? Do we have these?
I think nowadays, so rating agencies are not there for this logistic industry, because this industry is still in a fragmented stage. It's not very organized. Okay. So वो तो problem है, that is there. But nowadays, a lot of people are giving reviews of these companies in different social media portals. You can just log into their social media. In fact, you just Google Map में जाओगे तो वहाँ पे भी reviews मिल जाता है लोगों का. So people are very vocal nowadays to give the feedback about the companies, good or bad. थोड़ा idea आपको वहाँ से मिलेगा, and when you talk to that person also, you will get to know like that. So it will not matter the company is very big or very small. It will matter how confident they are to take care of a cargo, and do they have that kind of experience to handle. And you can definitely ask some of the client references, and they should be comfortable sharing. Like if somebody will ask me, give me a few references if you had handled similar product. If not similar product, similar country में या उस country में आपने कुछ किया है, you can give me some references. They can call those references or those of the clients and get a feedback, honest feedback on that. कोई issue नहीं. So you have to find your own way of doing a due diligence kind of thing. But yeah, some of the exams are given like that.
Right. So let's look at a scenario where I found my service provider also, but there might be some common mistakes that I can avoid as an exporter or as a startup. Yeah. So can you give us a hint of how those mistakes, or what are those mistakes that can be avoided?
Correct. So first mistake definitely is that about the payment terms. You should be very thorough about your payment terms. Okay. To fresh clients, it's difficult for you to give them credit, because you don't know if the money will come back to you, or how much time it will take to come back to you. That is one. To avoid that, even the buyer will think that you're the first time, right? How do I pay you? What if you don't deliver, or what if you deliver the wrong product, or maybe the non-functional product, not up to the mark. So for that, there's something called LC, which I mentioned earlier. So every problem will have the very streamlined solution for that. So one is about the payment. You get that 100% advance, or you open an LC, or you ask your buyer to open an LC, so your payments is taken care of. Second is, try always to have as I would say refined product as possible, or as good as possible the product. Instead of, try not to cut corners and try to sell cheap products to your buyers. So when you want, just normal business perspective, whenever you want your repeat orders to come, normally in international business, they appreciate if the product is good, and if they are able to further sell it to their end customers, or whether they use it in house, if they are normally satisfied, it is much high probability that you will get repeat orders from the same client. Okay, so try to, if at all you're starting something new, definitely try to venture into a product which you are confident on. Whether you're a manufacturer, doesn't matter. Let's say if you're a merchant trader, you don't want to be a manufacturer, you just want to be a merchant trader. Buy from some manufacturer and sell. So even you can control the quality of your product or the product which you want to send at the manufacturer's place. So even that kind of strategy you can use, you can yourself or hire a third party to ensure that the product which you want, it is meeting the standards which your buyer wants. So there's one pitfall, right? You can say, because let's say you want 10,000 of pieces of that product, you can't keep testing all 10,000, then pack and then export. That's why some people hire third party also to do that kind of inspections, random inspections, to ensure that the tolerance levels or the product acceptance level is there. Third is pre-planning your exports. When I say pre-planning, means let's say your client or your buyer wants your product to be delivered today. Let's say he's giving you PO. It's 9th of November. He's expecting, let's say, on before 30th of December, and he's in US and you want to send the product by sea. You should know in advance that it takes roughly 40-45 days to send your product from here to US. So you should be able to do the by calculation. You should not overcommit and then fall short.
Plus the clearance days and other customs.
Yeah, everything. Yes, correct. Yes.
So you should have at least 60 days in hand before you commit the business.
So it depends. People do by sea, air as well. We have handled shipments as big as 8.5 tons up to 8.5 tons. We have moved from Mexico to here. So it's huge, expensive, right? But people have done that also because they failed to plan. They failed to plan, and then here let's say in the factory the work is getting stuck. What to do? There's no other way than to airlift. So we airlifted quite heavy equipment, heavy machineries also in the past. So fail to plan is going to cost big time. So better always be ready to plan. If you cannot plan, just ask somebody who's good in that. Ask your logistics partner to help you and learn little bit about logistics. You need not to understand logistics operations. What you need to understand is the broad perspective of the timeline it takes to export your cargo to a particular country. Fourth is understand the legal requirements of that country. Where I gave an example of the fillets, right? If you don't have L certificate, your entire product, irrespective of whether it's a world-class quality, will be rejected if you don't have that document. Sometimes it happens that. Okay, so be very crystal clear what your buyer country requires. Sometimes even the buyer may not know. So it's even since you are exporting, it's your prerogative to understand that. If your buyer is not able to mitigate those kind of requirements, you better understand from your logistics partner. He or she may be able to help you out in that way. So better to be prepared for such kind of shortcomings before jumping into that.
And those list of documents can be easily found out on Google, right?
That's the thing. That's the thing. It's not easy. That's why you need a logistics partner for that.
Well, that's why we need an expert like you.
I'm not an expert, dude. I would say I'm good enough for that, but may not be that. So everywhere now, I mentioned earlier in the beginning itself, all the countries are evolving. Depending on the requirements, they are changing the regulations, they are improving the regulations. Some older ones they are chucking out and bringing in new laws and new regulations. So it's impossible to understand all from an exporter. But hire a logistics partner who understands, whose day in day job is that, and he or she will do it on your behalf and guide you. As simple as that. Because his job is not to just move cargo, his job is also to be your guiding angel so that you don't fall into some kind of pit stop.
And of course, he gets the repeated business from you, right? So the more better.
That's a hope. That's a hope.
Yeah. Great. Okay, so let's talk more about the startups who are starting an export business. What is your advice to those startups? We discussed about the common mistakes, right? Apart from that, is there anything specific that you want to advise?
Yeah. If you are starting something new, I would say don't get scared. First of all, initially you will feel that those are documents prepare karne hai, blah 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 kind of thing, right?
Right.
So initial 1 or 2 shipments, of course, the list of documents you need to prepare is big because you are registering yourself in the government's system. So they will do KYC of your company, they will do KYC of you as a founder of that company. All those things are there. So that's why the list looks big. They will also involve that you get some letters from the banks and stuff like that. So that is only one-time job. So that is, I call it first-time export registration process. Okay, first time export process. So once you are, once you have crossed that hurdle, after that it's cakewalk with respect to document. Okay, so first is don't get scared because a lot of documents they are asking in initial. After that, you'll get used to it, so you'll not find any difficulty. Then find innovative ways. In fact, newer generation are much more innovative than what we are right now. Lot of ways are there to find clients, basically. Okay, you'll be surprised. You can just pick up your phone and call an embassy and understand what kind of products are required in that country. Nobody would ever thought that. हमको लगता है embassy is there only for मेरा passport गुम हो गया I can go and call them, right? But
Right.
embassies are very valuable jobs there. So in fact, they may a little bit guide you. Okay, they will not give you clients, but they will give you guidance or maybe hint or maybe just about what kind of products are generally required in that country. If you are
Hmm.
choosing a country for a product, okay, then their exhibitions I already told you, right? Then there are a lot of online portals where these international buyers are putting the requirements.
Right.
राइट सो हमको खाली अलीबाबा पता है बट ऐसे अलीबाबा जैसे बहुत सारे हाई क्वालिटी पोर्टल्स आते हैं देन यू शुड
Could
बी
you
पार्ट
give
ऑफ
name?
या आई मीन ये एक्चुअली कंट्री स्पेसिफिक बहुत आपको मिलेगा जैसे कोरियन इज सो मकाओ करके है अपनी केआओ
Okay.
आई एम प्रोनाउंस दैट बट इज देयर सो एवरी कंट्री में यू विल गेट उनका लोकल पोर्टल इनफैक्ट यू कैन गूगल ओके इंटरनेशनल बायर्स पोर्टल इन कोरिया टक यू विल गेट दैट यू विल इंटरनेशनल पोर्टल्स बाय इन यूएस टक यू विल गेट दैट and you will get multiple options. Some are free, some
Okay.
are paid, kind of thing is there, and many times there are also portals where you will get verified buyers as well. So
Hmm.
you get that kind of security that yeah this guy is not some kind of fraudulent kind of thing. So you'll get that.
Got it. Got it.
Yes, sir.
Got it.
So yeah, so now let's say you have let's say selected Dubai and you want to export. Your product is feasible. You're finding. The next step is what to find a client. So portals are there, exhibitions are there. This what do you call it? Your own network is there. I had very efficiently used my network to grow my business. So like that, you can use your network in LinkedIn, in wherever you are there in your college, friends, school, anywhere, whatever you feel like. The more you are
Hmm.
vocal about yourself, the more are the chances for you to get a potential client.
Got
After
it.
that,
Got
it's
it.
we are there. After that, you
Okay.
just
So let's
type yeah.
recall what we discussed. Recall what we discussed. So the first
Mm-hmm.
thing is that we, as a startup, we, have a minimum set of documents prepared. Okay, the invoicing and the EXIM code and the packaging and everything. Then we find at least one reliable logistics partner to help us prepare the documents or check all the documents and help us prepare for the supply chain and advise us rather
You
how
skip a
soon we
couple of
can export
steps.
to.
Yeah, are you
Sorry,
assuming that you already have you are assuming that you already have client and then these steps are there. Huh? So first you have to find a client.
first we have to find a client. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Of
And,
course.
yeah.
I
So
was I was I was thinking that we find a client once we are prepared with everything. So that I
no.
mean, I'm
See,
I'm assuming that the clients would also verify.
hmm,
The clients would also verify if I have my documentation and I have the strength to export or not, right? Because
that's why they
until
ask you
and unless
samples,
I
right?
have a
Correct. That's why they ask
yeah,
you sample. So many clients, almost everybody knows that not everyone is an manufacturer. There are merchant traders,
right,
more merchant traders than manufacturers. Okay,
correct.
so merchant traders what is a skill to find a client. So if you have that kind of skill, you need not to just be a manufacturer. You buy it from manufacturer and export to that specific buyer. So there are merchant traders in India who are buying from country A and selling to country B. So the
Hmm.
product doesn't even come to India; it just goes from country A to B, and the documents are prepared in such a
Drop
way that
shipping.
okay, one way of drop shipping, yeah, but that's a real tumara. Okay, let's call it drop shipping. But the documents are prepared as if it is moving from country A to India and then being exported to country our Indian country to that country B, like that.
Sure, sure, sure.
So your interests are always saved. So country B ka buyer will not know who's the seller. For him, you are the seller, and for your vendor, you are the buyer.
Got it. Okay, so with that, we come to a session, where we ask for questions with our community. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and
All right.
we have already received one of the comments, and I'm displaying it here. Yeah,
Okay.
so it's there in your screen now. So can
First
you
time
share the
registration process
list
for a
of
startup.
documents? Yeah.
First time registration process. Okay, I need to list big. Okay, but let me explain you. No, that's okay. So first time registration process for a startup is you need to have your KYC of your company, right? So CIN certificate, your GST, your PAN card, right? Then your Aadhaar card, your PAN card. So this is KYC of company and KYC of you. Then comes the bank. The bank is called AD. So for international transactions, all banks are called authorized dealer. Okay, so you need to get one authorized code, or sorry,
Okay.
AD code, that is called authorized dealer code, and the bank can only issue that. So that letter is to be issued by the bank, and in the same bank you have to do the transaction. Your money, your US dollar or your euro or whatever currency is there, that's supposed to come in that bank. Usi bank ka you have to have AD code letter. Okay, so this is bare minimum you need to have it, and then register yourself at the IceGate. IceGate is basically a portal by Government of India where all your transactions will be captured. So, okay, so you need to register yourself in
Right.
IceGate. Then, let's say you have registered yourself with the government portal. Then, let's say you are sitting in Mumbai and need to export to Singapore. Now, Mumbai, if you are exporting from air, so you need to register then at the port, that is airport. So then again you have to do similar kind of KYC at the airport. Of course, when I say you means your logistics
Okay.
partner will do on your behalf. So
Okay.
without moving
Okay.
your chair from the house, you can do everything. So you don't have to physically go anywhere. You just submit the documents,
Hmm.
scan the files, and send it. Nowadays, anyway, all these documents are being uploaded in government portals. So without moving yourself from the house,
Right.
you can easily do that. Get it done basically. So register yourself in the airport or register yourself in the seaport, whichever port you want to use it, and that is to be
Right.
done only first time. After that, nothing. After that,
Right.
only two documents which I told you: packing list and invoice. Nothing more than that is required, and it
Okay.
goes. Yeah.
Got it. Got it.
Mm.
Cool. So guys on LinkedIn and YouTube, any other questions? So there's one question which is popping in my mind, Pankaj, before
Mm-hmm.
we conclude. So we discussed about finding the clients. You said that there are merchants who are very well versed with finding the clients for you.
Yeah.
Uh, do Chamber of Commerce and there are
Uh, I think your video got stuck.
am I audible now?
I lost. Yeah, you're better now. Yeah, you're live. Yeah. You're talking about
Yeah. So I
this,
was
no?
asking out the
Chamber of Commerce. Yeah.
Chamber of Commerce. Yes. So do Chamber of Commerce, really assist you to find good clients and promote your business overseas?
So that is one. So Chamber of Commerce is like a council, which I mentioned earlier. That you should be part of any one of the council. Let's say if you are exporting agriculture products, so there is a council like APEDA, APEDA. Okay, so you should be part of that
Right.
one of the council, export council, which will help you to generate the specific documents which are required for that other country. Okay, then these councils also arrange
Okay.
events where you should go, and where normally you go and participate, and there also you get an opportunity to meet your peers where similar products others are also exporting, and you can talk to them the challenges which they are facing, so it helps you to overcome those challenges. There also, in those events also, you also get potential buyers. So these export councils are very much important for you to register
Okay.
yourself in one, and their membership fees is very, very low. It's pennies, so it's worth it, worth the effort to be part of it. And coming to Chamber of Commerce, so Chamber of Commerce has limited, I would say, effect on you. It can give you the minimum certificate like COO, like country of origin certificates they give. Uh, so little bit documentation they can help you if at all it is required through them. They also conduct events, like FICCI also conducts events. CII and FICCI together conducts events,
Okay.
and there also people can participate and take advantage of that. Definitely they will not give you कि
Got it.
ये
Cool.
export ये client है और जाके उसको करो, that will not come, but they will create a platform for you
Hmm.
where they will try to let buyer and seller meet with each other. So that much help they can do. The rest is up to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Right. Right. Great. So with that, Pankaj, we come to an end of our session. And
Great.
guys, if you have any further questions, please feel free to comment on our LinkedIn profile or connect with us. I'm Rakeshkumar. He's Mr. Pankaj Mulchandani, and we'll be very happy and honored to help you and answer your questions.
Absolutely.
Great. So, thank you, LinkedIn. Thank you, YouTube. Wish you all a very happy Diwali
Happy
and a
Diwali.
prosperous New Year. And we hope that we will have Pankaj, coming on to our sessions once more to enlighten us for further processes of the export, and vice versa. We will also help Pankaj to reach out to his clients via our channel.
No need, it's okay, man. Don't
Right.
worry. I'll be more than happy to help you. Don't worry. Yeah.
Great, great. So thank you so much, Pankaj, and it was
I'll
pleasure
appreciate you.
meeting you today.
Thanks. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Have a nice day.